Hey, friends, welcome to Wellness Wednesday, tips and tricks to living your best life. So, who else is freezing to death today? It is cold out there, and I'm sure you can still hear it. I am still congested. I am still just not 100% after having that virus again. So I've been doing a lot of computer work today. I was sitting upstairs at my desk and I'm like, oh, I kind of just from coughing so much, my upper back is a bit sore, my hips are tight. And so I've dropped downstairs into my studio and I thought, you know what? I'm going to share this with you. One of my favorite sequences to do to release stress in the hips. So do you have a foam roller? If you do, if you're watching live, you can catch it back. But if you're not watching live, you're catching the replay, hit pause on this, okay? Go get your foam roller and we'll do it together. Now, I'm actually using a melt roller, which is from the Melt Method, so it's a lot softer. It's not as dense as a foam roller, so it's a little bit more focused on the fascial system. But honestly, grab any roller that you have. If you don't have a roller, you could even roll up a yoga mat, quite thick, or even some towels, and go through this sequence, okay? So you're gonna come and lay down on your back. Hopefully you can still see me. Yeah, we can. Okay, I'll place this over here. So I'm going to put the roller between my bum and my feet, as you can see, or is my banner in the way? It might be in the way. And then you're going to lift your bum up and set your pelvis down on the top of the roller, okay? Now what we don't want to do is to be lifting and arching our back off, so you shouldn't feel any pressure there. So I want you to drop the pelvis down, and I want you to imagine two strings. So a string or an elastic band from your hip bones, those bony points here, to your bottom rib. And all we're gonna do is this. I'm gonna take a breath, I'm gonna exhale. And I just almost imagined I was tightening up a pair of elastics there, okay? So that's gonna actually engage my core a little bit. And I'm gonna keep my pelvis really still. I'm gonna rest my hands here onto the roller, and I'm gonna lift one leg up to tabletop. I'm gonna in a moment ask you to lift the second leg. Anyone can lift a leg, but I'm gonna ask you to do it mindfully. So could you, as you exhale, think of unweighting the leg, bringing it up. So it's a very mindful movement, okay? Now from this position, we can actually allow the legs to come together, the knees to touch. And all we're gonna do, thinking of reaching the knees up to the ceiling, we're gonna just roll across the back of our pelvis. And then we're gonna slowly come back to the center. And we're gonna roll the other way. Now, this is not rocket science. I want you simply to breathe and to roll. But chances are you are doing a sprint here. So I see people go like this. Okay, I've got it. I'm gonna roll through my pelvis. Stop, slow it down. Think of, this is not a polka. This is a waltz. Oh my gosh, I just dated myself, okay? So old Saskatchewan country dances, we're gonna do a slow waltz. And then I want you to be curious. I want you to actually look at the ceiling once you've kind of got the gist of this. And I want you to be curious about how the tissue feels. What if you reach one kneecap further than the other? What if you pull one kneecap back? Explore movement, okay? So actually, I'm surprised I'm not that tight. So I'm loosening up the fascia here that's kind of in that low lumbopelvic region. And then I'm going to come back to the center and I'm going to address these tight hip flexors. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull one leg slightly towards me. And then I'm just going to reach my leg super slow, keeping my abdominals engaged. And I'm going to tap one toe down. Now my knee's slightly bent, as you can see, and I'm going to feel if I feel any stretch here through the front of my hip. When I go to lift this leg up, I want you to do this with me. I'm going to think of lifting from the back of the leg, okay? And then we're going to go to the other side. I often cue this. I taught this today once. I cue it as dipping your toe in a puddle that's far away from you. And again, you're going to notice that I'm going slow. I teach mindful movement, awareness, right, through breath. So I want you to be breathing. And just notice, like, ooh, when I go to this side, it's so much tighter than the other side. Now, if you're like, I'm not really feeling much, you can actually reach that leg a little bit longer. You can start to straighten the knee and touch the heel down. But we shouldn't be arching our upper back off the mat. So we want to stay nice and connected. This is one of my favorite stretches. I hope I don't start coughing. It's been almost a month and I still am coughing. Now we're gonna do this one more time. And then I'm gonna show you one more way just to intensify it a little bit more. Now, if that was enough, that's enough. I will mention on this side, as I reach my leg far away, I feel my ribs start to rotate. So that probably tells me, you know what, I'm gonna bend that knee a little bit and try to maintain some stability through my upper body. Now, I'm gonna bring that leg back in. Here's one more way to add a little bit more to it. So I'm gonna reach my hands up, place them around one knee, pull that into me, flare my elbows wide, and then I'm gonna repeat the sequence, ideally looking up towards the ceiling. Now this really intensifies it for me. It's not big, okay? I want us to get away from the idea that we have to feel things in the extreme for them to work. In fact, I would actually say that the more detailed and small a movement is, often the more we can actually change our body through awareness and through breath. Now you could even choose just to stay here. And let's do that. Let's take 3 breaths here together. I'm a slow breather, so you might take 5 breaths while I take 3. And then we're gonna change sides. So we're gonna pull one knee gently in, drop the shoulders down to the mat, flare the elbows, reach that other leg long, look up to the ceiling. And as you're feeling the pull of one knee in, feel the reach of the opposite leg. And again, let's just take 3 more breaths here and stay. Was that 5 breaths for you? That was just 3 for me. Bring both of your legs back in. In fact, just open and close the legs here a little bit with your hands on your knees. Okay. In fact, you could even stir one femur. So your big leg bone, your femur, imagine it like a big spatula and stir it in your hip, okay? And then go to the other side. And you're almost using your hand on your knee to guide that movement. And then pause in the center, bring one foot down, bring the other foot down. Slide that roller out. Now I want you to roll down, articulate your spine from the upper middle back through your belt line. Roll through the hips. Bring your hands beside you and just take a breath. So what I feel there is my pelvis actually feels flatter. I feel like I have more space in through my hips. So that's it. I will stop coughing one day. That is my hip sequence. Give it a try. Let me know in the comments if you love it, if you hate it, or if you'd like another one next week. All right, have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.